And you'll find a copy of the letter from Kenneth Lay to George Bush, recounting the meeting in that book. And Enron acquired, as a result of that meeting held by George Bush in his capacity as of governor of Texas, Enron acquired Uzbekistan's natural gas rights. Turkmenistan, next door to Uzbekistan, has even more natural gas, incredible amounts of natural gas. The natural gas reserves of Turkmenistan are equal in worth to the oil reserves of Iraq, if not greater. But you can't get it out. There's no way out of Central Asia for this oil and gas except through Russia, and the Russians won't let it go to the West, or through Iran, which the Americans aren't keen on. The only way to get it out would be to have a pipeline going over Afghanistan. Fortunately, George Bush Sr. was a director, or shareholder at least, of another company called Unocal, which was planning a pipeline over Afghanistan. And the Unocal actually held negotiations with the Taliban to protect the pipeline over Afghanistan. And in 1991, 9 and 2001, Taliban delegations also visited Texas. I'd love to find out if they called on George W. Bush. That would be tremendous, but I fear they probably didn't. But the consultant who was organizing this for Unocal was a certain Mr. Karzai, who is now president of Afghanistan. So there you have George Bush Sr., Karzai, and incidentally Khalilzad, all linked in Unocal with Enron tying up the gas reserves in Uzbekistan and the pipeline over Afghanistan to bring it out. Now, the pipeline was actually designed. There are designs of this pipeline. And if you look at the deployment of US forces in Afghanistan as against other NATO country forces in Afghanistan, you'll see that undoubtedly the US forces are positioned to guard the pipeline route. That's what it's about. It's about money. It's about oil. It's not about democracy. There's a sense in which Afghanistan is the greatest developmental success the West has ever seen, because the GDP of Afghanistan has increased by about 150% since we invaded it. The trouble is, all of that increase is in heroin. In 2001, the Taliban had cut their heroin harvest down to virtually nil. Last year, it increased by 40% on top of a 60% increase the year before. And nowadays, they don't even export opium anymore. It's a great developmental success. They've got into value added. It's all made into heroin before it's exported now. And we know where it is. Dostum's heroin factories, it's done on an industrial scale. Petrochemical tankers carrying the chemical precursors are sharing the same road as our troops. But it's done by the government we are protecting. There are so many lies about Afghanistan. It's about money, it's about oil, it's about drugs, it's about the abuse of human rights, it's about degradation, and it's about all of us paying through our taxes for wars which benefit a tiny clique. Thank you very much.